Hello, how are you, Angelo?
I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
Okay, I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for accepting to be with us in this Expert Talks with Hari by Srishti TV. This program is segmented into three segments, and the first segment is about you, where you come from, your childhood, your college days, and all the way till today. And then the second segment focuses on Black Candy, our theme. The third segment is a little bit of surprise segment. I'll explain you when we get there. So now we'll start with who is Mr. Angelo Raza. Over to you.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me. My name is Angelo Raza Mamunzi, but let's make it Angelo Raza. That's my author name. Uh, I am from Madagascar originally, but now I am living in Darwin, Australia. So my childhood was spent in a province in the inner province of Madagascar, um, where it's not really very popular, populated, but it was a town and have more or less all the features to allow you enjoy the service of a town. So my childhood was a bit a mix of happiness and bully. I had a very nice childhood because my father was a very well treating us. But I was always a slim guy, and I was used to be bullied at school. But that helped me understand that life is not easy, and if you don't show some kind of added value to people, then you always be a victim of something. So that helps me always try to do the best um, and strive in life. Um, yes.
And when it comes to your college days, how did it go? Where did you do your studies? I know you have done ecology, you're in the ecology field, so explain about that.
Yes. Um, so when went to university, like most of the students, then you don't not necessarily understand or know what you're gonna do, but you choose your your major field based on your past experience or um, what your parents suggest, and maybe you have some idea, but most of the time you are all of us are the fruit of the past. So myself, because Madagascar is a hotspot for biodiversity, at that time people suggested me to do the ecology, so I did that and I did well. And it helped me understand how the nature and the wildlife and the ecosystem works. And if you really look closer, they can be translated to human life, to the society. There's a lot of mechanism how the nature regulate itself, and that helped me understand more how life works, and becomes my best asset to strive in life. So whatever situation I had, then I have always a clue about how to deal with this something. Um, but when I finished my uh, bachelor in natural science, then I studied management. I started to get interested in management, and as I saw that my heart is more in that, but I can use my assets from the ecology to really apply that into business and human behavior. And here I
And
am.
when it comes to the challenges you faced and how did you overcome them?
Oh, yes. Um, so childhood was okay, but I've lost my father at the age of when I was at the age of 14, and then life started to be hard. I have to help my mother to help the family survive. But that was like that has built my personality and my sense of resilience. Um, I was always fighting against time. After school, I have to set up a small grocery shop and stay there for maybe 4 hours. And when it's 9 o'clock in the evening, I have to pack everything and bring it back home, and always have to deal with time. So it taught me that time is a commodity, a very precious commodity that help you achieve something if you really use it wisely.
Okay. And now we move on to the main subject, which is black candy. What is black candy? We'll start from there.
Oh, yes, that's a good question. So, Black Candy is, in fact, a message of hope for those who are in hardship, because beyond your darkest days lays a sweet victory. Sorry, that's one of the message. It's the brand of my book. We can see my book here now.
Yes.
Um, and there will be more edition after that. There will be another Black Candy 2, Black Candy 3.
Probably a movie as
But
well, right?
yes, that's the plan. We are looking for
Okay. Okay.
a producer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Best wishes
but
for that.
yeah, yeah. The Black Candy as well is, we are in the situation where we talk often about Black Lives Matters, and that's true. Myself, I am black as well. The message is, if you try to avoid black people, then you are missing out, because they have a lot to offer society. Uh, and then the third meaning is Black Candy has a message to the black people this time, that if we want respect, we need to deserve that respect. We don't force people to love us. We need to show loyalty, integrity, and lovability. It's not through our violence that we can seduce people. And that's the message of Reinvent Yourself is about.
How did an ecologist become an author? Can you explain the transformation process? Because all the way from a particular area, which is ecology, and then you slowly move to a place where you are an author now. So, how did that happen?
Yeah, amazing story. I used to, after finishing college, I worked in the mining industry for about 12 years. And it's a place where we can have all the skills mixed together. So you meet people from different backgrounds. And my job was managing the environmental side of the project. But because I am in this mixed of knowledge, then I could learn from people, but also uh, had the opportunity to relate what I learned to human life and humanity challenge. and through those big challenge at the mine and what local people face, I was inspired in sharing my story in the future, uh, uh, especially for my fellow Madagascar people, but also the world. I always liked learning languages, and that helped me survive, no, strive as well when I was working in the mining industry. Um, I speak Malagasy, I speak French, I speak English, and I spoke German before. So I love language. So it's better for me to use all of the thing. If you just tell a story, then people forget. But if you write them, then it remains. So an ecologist uh, has discovered how word functions, have uh, have his test tested during his life tested at the mining environment, and through his journey to Australia, he was inspired to share value to people. That's more or less how it developed.
Now, tell me more about Madagascar because most of us, including the viewers from different countries, uh, some of them would have visited, but most of them have not visited that place. But we have heard a lot of good things about the biodiversity, about the clean air, and a lot of other positive things about being a very friendly place for the tourists. But all I have seen, or at least few of us who are viewing this interview, have seen only the movie, and we have a fair idea about reading about it. But hearing from a person who is born in Madagascar would be better. So I would ask you to please tell me about Madagascar.
Yes. You might be surprised about your connection to Madagascar, but if you like ice cream, then
Hmm.
maybe every day or every time you eat vanilla ice cream, then
Yeah.
you might be in contact with Madagascar, because almost 80% of vanilla in the world comes from Madagascar.
Wow.
So when thinking about Madagascar, think about vanilla.
Okay. Okay. That's a new thing. That's a new
Yeah.
thing to know. Okay.
Yeah, and Madagascar is well known about its biodiversity, and it's the land of lemurs. Most of the lemurs, if not the only place we have lemur, is in Madagascar. That's another excuse to come to Madagascar as well. And it's a place it's the fourth biggest island in the world, and they have a very diverse weather, depending where you are. If you are like highland, you can go on the highlands. If you are like coast, you can go there. It's also a place with a successful melting pot, but our language is more or less based on Indonesian
Basha.
language. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's easy to relate that when you visit Madagascar, you will easily feel this Asian feeling when you are inside the country. It's a place where everything would grow, but sometimes when it's too easy to do things, then people become lazy.
Hmm.
So maybe that's something we need to do to reinvent ourselves in Madagascar, becoming more um, workaholic.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a place. People say uh, it's a place where you can have a 5-star tourism, not man-made.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
now we move on to the next segment, which is the surprise segment, where I'll ask you a few
Mhm.
questions, which are imaginary questions. You can go ahead and spread your creative wings and then be as imaginative as possible. Uh,
Yes.
Touching on the areas which is actually close to your heart, you can be as creative as possible. The first thing which I would like to ask you is imagine I'm giving you a magical wand. Okay, with a magical wand, you can change one thing across the globe. What kind of change would you like to see? What is that one thing you will change?
Okay. The thing that I want people to think about is I want that people understand that if you want something, give that to to people. I say that in the other word. If you are hungry, cook for someone else.
Wow. Okay.
I've learned
Now
that
the next.
from my coach, but I think it's worth sharing.
Yes, 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 definitely. Even though it's told in a very simple manner, it has extremely deep meaning, and I wish all of us can do that, and that will actually give us a harmonious world. Uh,
True.
the second question is, I'm giving you a time machine. Okay, with that time machine, you can go back to past, not future, past. And when you go to your past, you can go to any period, any year you wish to, and you can choose your favorite person, whoever it may be, your favorite person who you think is an inspiration to you. Learn about him, spend a month with him in that period, then come back to 2020 and write a book about what you learned. Who would that person be?
Does it have to be one person?
How many do you want to follow?
Two.
Okay, go ahead. Two people.
Okay. So
Special
if you
consideration for Mr. Angelo. Two people. Okay. Okay.
yes. So first, if you could come back, I would I would visit Nelson Mandela when he
Wow.
was still at the prison
Okay.
and learn from him how does he do to remain exactly the same person. I mean, spiritually the same person,
Mm-hmm.
despite all the challenge and
Things he
misery he
underwent.
has faced. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this other one is Mahatma Gandhi.
Wow.
I only watched one movie about him. That's all the thing I know about him. But that was enough for me to appreciate the wisdom that I have learned from him, or the thing that I can learn from him.
Okay. Okay. And the best thing is you chose two great leaders who are loved by across the world by all of them. So the book which you're going to write definitely will be a bestseller, like your
I
Black
think
Candy.
so.
Okay.
Yes, and Black Candy is the message of Black Candy is inspired from Gandhi, who
Uh-huh.
said, "Be the change you wanna see in the world."
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
It's in fact, you know, if as you said, like if you're hungry, cook for another person. If we want to have a better world, I remember during our conversation earlier, you mentioned like if I want to see something change, first I must change. Then expecting others to start changing, I must change, and that will actually change my perspective towards life, and it creates a better world. So I agree
true.
with you in that point. Now, the third question is, if you are given a chance by a producer to write a script for his movie, but the only condition is that you have to write about certain social issues or certain things which will impact the society at large or community at large in a positive way. You can write about, say, education or public health or gender equality or you can talk about women empowerment, or you can talk about water, sanitation, hygiene, or importance of effective communication. It can be anything. It's your choice. But the only condition is it should be a social subject
Yeah.
with your own style of writing, because they were highly impressed with Black Candy and they want to produce a movie and where they want you to be the script writer. So, what script would you choose? And bear in mind, this movie is going to be released across the world in different languages. So, take a subject which is globally, people can connect to it. Over to you.
Yeah. Um, Thank you for that. Because my big aim is to help build harmony in the world.
Wow.
And racism is always around, but it's not by always praising it, talking about it every time. Who can change the world? But finding everyone's mistake. I mean, I always tell people, go and look yourself to a mirror and improve yourselves every time. And you become handsome. Can't you see me more handsome than this morning now?
Yes.
Yeah, so that will be my message for, especially for the Black people, is to reinvent themselves because they have the value already. It's just the manner we show our value that we need to be innovative.
Okay. So, what would be the title of the movie?
The title of the movie will be Promised Land.
From?
Promised Land.
Okay. My
The
next
long
question.
walk to the
Uh-huh.
promised land.
Okay. Okay. My next area, I mean, the next question is, if a person comes to you, a youth comes to you and asks for your advice to become an author or to become a better person, what would that be?
Can you say that again, please?
Um, the person, Angelo Raza, becomes a mentor. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
one of the youth members from a college or anybody across the world, they see the movie, they get impressed, and then they contact you and they want to get your advice about life.
Mm-hmm.
What would that advice be?
Okay, that's a tricky question. Yeah, if someone comes to me, the first thing I'm going to ask him is, what do you want? What is your dream? Let me know.
Okay,
And because it's based on that, and I've already done that before when I was, because I was coaching young people in Madagascar. That was my passion. Somebody comes to me before they go for an interview, and I prepare them on what they might be asked about. So I asked one friend, one of the student, um, I told him, how do you see your life in 5 years? And that person said, I don't know yet, but I need to have a job first. But
okay,
the good thing is, when he was at the interview, he was asked the same thing, but just in the next 10 years. So he
okay.
rushed to run to me. It was exactly what you tell
Ask.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would ask exactly the same thing. I always use an example of my favorite teacher, Jesus. He someone one day somebody asked him to heal his blindness, and Jesus saw that this guy is blind, but he still asked, "What do you want from me?" Because it's a very important thing that you know what you want. you know where you want to go, because that will define everything.
Okay. Thank you. Now we move on to the next segment, which is gratitude segment. Go ahead and thank all the people who have helped you in key situations for you to be who you are today. In other words, who all you owe your success to. You can name them and thank them.
Oh, yes, there are many of them.
Key
But
people would do. Hmm.
first, my mother,
Hmm.
who taught me to dream big always, despite our situation, the hardship we have lived.
Hmm.
But it's through her that I am who I am now.
Okay.
And also from the teachers at the university who
Okay.
believed in me. And I know their dream was to see me publish my PhD paper. But it was a dilemma to me uh, because I have to write 40,000 words. And for a novel like Black Candy, it's 40,000 words as well. But it was a dilemma for me which one I'm going to do.
Hmm.
So I chose to do Black Candy for the moment because it will help change more lives than just a paper that you're going to sit in the on the shelf of a library. But I promise to all the teachers who have helped me that I am still hoping and planning to finish my PhD to reward them. And I say thank you to my wife who have transformed me to become a better person, because she was kind of my mirror who always tell me what is wrong in me and
Okay.
help me change.
Okay.
And I thank you, Harry,
Yes.
because without you I will not be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And next one is basically the final segment of the show where you go ahead and share your thoughts and your suggestions and your message to the world. We have people seeing from different countries. We have our media partners, America TV, which is from US, and we have huge viewership from UK as well. And then other countries where we have guests from are from Norway, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, and of course, definitely from India, and also other areas where people who are following our page have shared these things as well. So go ahead and share your message to them.
Yes. So we now live in a society where we can get everything easily by just a click on a phone. But that culture has robbed our sense of resilience and patience. So when facing global challenges such as this pandemic or the climate change and the rising case of social justice, we struggle. We need to revisit the way we think, the way we consume, the way we behave, the way we live, and even the way we love. In fact, we need to reinvent ourselves. We need a generation who understand that change is a process rather than just a magic trick. And for a global change to happen, it has to start with oneself. So I invite everybody to learn to reinvent themselves, to
Mhm.
become the change they want to see in the world.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tha- Thank you. Thank you so much. we heard a different perspective about life and about how an ecologist from Madagascar, how he settled the life the journey he underwent, and his transformation, where he pursued his passion to become an author. And I wish you this becomes a movie. And definitely, I would like to get an autograph book of yours. I will definitely after this program contact you on that. And
Will do.
also when and also when the movie releases, I want to come and be with you in the same hall, seeing the premiere show of Black Candy. I wish you that happens very soon. And thank you so much for your time, Mr. Angelo. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any
Thank
closing
you.
remarks?
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. That was Mr. Angelo Raza, speaker, author, Black Candy book publishing. He has started his career as a psychologist, and then he pursued his passion to become an author. And the best part is he has well balanced mix of different cultures, understanding life, and his perspective was in a different angle. So we had a couple of technical glitches initially when we wanted to have this program, but we both were really, you know, made up our mind that this has to go and it has to happen. So, and thanks for all the viewers and the messages I've been receiving regarding Srishti's programs. We have three programs. One is Expert Talks, and then we have Unlock, and then we have Interlude. Each program has its own unique touch to it, and it brings a different flavor. So anybody who you know in your connections would like to be part of this, and you know that these people can be featured here, please do contact me. And for advertisements, you can contact 893-903-7925. Thank you.